Hey John, good morning. Okay, so we are gonna start off with these two sessions. This first one is going to be a combination of core strengthening and just generally mobilizing the body. We're going to stay pretty low to the mat. The second session we're going to be doing a bit more standing postures, a bit more hip mobility, but we're going to start off staying in quite a sort of a single track. So first of all, we're going to start hands underneath the shoulders, walk the knees back so they're underneath the hips. So hands want to be stacked, fingers spread wide. Really think about pressing the knuckles down. And if you know you have a tendency to roll out like a lot of guys do and the thumb lifts, make sure you're internally rotating so that all the knuckles are pressing down evenly. And then we're going to start by warming up the back. So you're going to inhale, lift the gaze up and think about filling the belly with air down. So the belly comes down, pelvis tips to the ceiling, gaze lifts up, and then pull the shoulders back. And then as you exhale, you're going to push those knuckles down, round the shoulders, round the spine, gaze comes back, right back to the belly button. Inhale again, belly comes down, chest pulls through the hands, gaze lifts. Exhale, push down, round away. One more of those. Inhale, lift the gaze up, pull the hands back. Exhale, push down, round away. Cool, we're going to come and find a neutral position. I'm going to do one of my favourite exercises. So option one is to simply push down through the top of the feet, push down with the top of the shins so you feel a bit of a lift through the legs. Option one, lift chin up, push down, and then imagine pulling the hands back towards the knees and push the knees forward towards the hands. You should feel your core really start to brace and wake up. Keep breathing. Release the pressure, shake it off. Okay, so you can repeat that one again, or you're welcome to push down and just hover the knees slightly off the mat, and then the same again. Pull the hands back, imagine pushing the knees forward. Lift the gaze slightly, create a double chin. 3, 2, 1, drop them down, shake it off. We're going to do either the first one or the second one again, so third time's the charm. So again, pressing down through the knuckles, gaze lifts slightly forward so we've got a long neck. Push down through the top of the feet, top of the shins, hover the knees, pull the hands back, push the knees forward. Keep breathing. 5, 4, keep pulling. 3, 2, 1, drop down. Cool. Tuck your back toe, extend the back leg behind you, and then notice if you kind of collapse here and try and pull the rib cage down, so you're pulling the ribs towards the hip, tucking the pelvis under slightly. As you inhale, you're going to shift the weight right forward into the tiptoe, and then as you exhale, you're going to push the heel all the way back. Inhale, shift yourself forward. Exhale, push it back. Inhale, shift yourself forward. Exhale, push the heel back. Good. Come to find a neutral position. Again, watching that the rib cage doesn't flare open. Start to lift up the left leg. Keep the little toe rolled down towards the floor so you're using your glutes and your lower back to lift. Lift, 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 lift. Gently lower. Release that knee down. Swap sides. Tuck the other toe. Straighten the leg back behind you. And then as you inhale, shift yourself forward. As you exhale, push the heel away. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, push back. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, push back. Come to find that neutral position. Notice the ribs. Pull them down. Really tuck the pelvis underneath and then lift up that leg. Notice if the hips opened, turn the little toe towards the floor. Use the glutes, use your back. And then gently lower. Okay, last one on the hands and the knees. Push down through your right hand. As you inhale, you're going to reach the left arm up towards the ceiling. Fingers go high. As you exhale, you're going to feed that left arm all the way through towards the right side. Inhale, reach it all the way up. Exhale, feed it all the way through. One more time. Inhale, reach it all the way up. Exhale, feed it all the way through. and then gently come to find that neutral position, plant the hand down, swap sides. Right arm reaches up. Exhale, feed it all the way through. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, feed it through. Last time, inhale, reach it up. Sorry, meet my dog buddy. Exhale, feed it through. Sit down, sit, sit, sit. Good. Bring yourself back, plant the hand down. Okay, so we're going to walk the hands slightly further forward, shift your weight forward, and then lower down. So we're taking basically a push up with the knees down. Lower the chest all the way. Bring the elbows underneath the shoulders and gently lift the chest up. So we're taking a bit of a gentle back bend here. Start to push down through the top of the feet, so we're keeping the legs active, kneecaps lift off the mat. And then think about pulling the hands towards you, so again, you're trying to make the collarbones wider. Notice here, John, if the ribs are kind of opening up again and you're dumping into the lower back, and try and keep the rib cage down. Take one more full breath in, and then we're going to lower ourselves all the way down. Okay, so something that definitely I've noticed in your photos and we talked about was your posture and the slight rounding tendency, so we're going to do a bit of work to retract that. So start with forehead on the floor, and then make a double U shape with the arms and the elbows. Make a fist with the hands, thumbs are exposed, and point up. So first things first, you're going to double chin so the forehead hovers, and then lift your gaze ever so slightly forward. You should feel the back of the neck start to wake up. Next up, we're going to squeeze the elbows and the thumbs towards the ceiling, and then squeeze the arms forward. Try not to let them lower, as if you're trying to squeeze your biceps next to your ears, and then pull the elbows all the way down into the waist. Release, release the head. So again, double chin, gaze shifts forward slightly, thumbs and elbows go up, extend the arms forward, pull them back, release, release. We've got 3 more of those. Double chin, gaze goes forward, elbows and thumbs, forward, 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 squeeze, pull back, squeeze, release, release. 2 more, double chin, gaze goes forward, squeeze, go forward, straighten the arms, up, 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 pull them back, release, release. Last time, double chin, gaze goes forward, squeeze high, straight forward, pull back, release, release. Good. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders, tuck the toes. Push up and back into that tabletop position. Leave your hands and your feet where they are. The temptation here is going to be to move them, don't. And then I want you to keep the knees bent, push with the hands, send the hips up towards the ceiling. Don't worry about your legs being straight, just get the hips as high as you can. Notice again what you're doing with the elbows, try and slightly bend them, and then wrap the armpits down towards the floor. So we're turning the lats on here, and then gently start to straighten the legs a little bit. Good. Take a full deep breath cycle here. Next inhale, make it a big one. And then as you exhale, try and walk the feet forward, keeping the hips as high as you can. So you're trying to use your deep core muscles, your deep hip flexors here, to really try and pull the legs right forward towards the hands. Walk them as close as you can, keep the knees bent if you need to. And then you're going to bring the hands halfway up the shins. Shoulders are going to roll back. Try and find a flat back, as if someone was pulling the crown of the head forward and your bum back. And then soften and fold. Plant the hands down, step the left foot about halfway along your mat. Drop that back knee, untuck that toe, lift yourself up. Okay, so with squash, you get quite tight hip flexors. Hip flexors attach onto the lower back, bottom of the ribs, and they feed themselves through and run down to the inside of the groin. Bearing in mind what you said before, again, I think this could be a postural thing, so we're going to try and lengthen out that hip flexor and then strengthen it. So, first step, lengthen. We're going to, again, tuck the ribs down, over scoop the pelvis underneath, push the back knee forward, and imagine the front foot pulling back. So immediately you should feel this kind of lengthening activation through quads and hip. Reach the arms up, Keep pulling the feet towards each other. Keep over scooping the pelvis, and then really pull the fingers up as high as you can. The higher you pull, you should feel it pulling all the way up through that chain. Go a little bit higher if you can. Keep the activation, keep pulling. Release the tension. You're going to step the right foot right to the front and then bend into that hip. Release the hands down onto the front thigh. Try and keep them away from the knee. Take one more full breath. And we're going to bring the hands down. We're going to tuck that back toe, lift up the back knee, and then try and step the front foot to the back of the mat without sweeping it and dragging it along. It will come. Take a deep breath in there. You can either drop the knees or do a full chaturanga. So chaturanga versus a press up is just the elbows go to the back of the mat. So it's more tricep focused. Top of the feet, shoulders come back, lift. Lower, tuck the toes, leave the hands and the feet where they are. Push yourself up and back into that downward facing V or downward dog. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, use your hip flexors. Rise up onto the tiptoes and really think about pulling your feet forward towards the hands. You want to strengthen and lengthen. Once you're there, inhale, you're going to rise up halfway. Top of head goes forward, hips go back. And then gently soften to fold. Bring the hands down. We're going to step the right foot halfway back. Drop the back knee, untuck the toe. Walk the hands back onto the thigh. So again, over scoop the pelvis. Really tuck the pelvis underneath. Pull the front foot back. Push the back knee forward. When you're ready, reach the arms up. Oh, one side's always worse. Keep pulling the fingers up, 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 up. Keep tucking, keep pulling. Last breath. And then gently step that front foot forward. Sink all the way down into that space. Release the hands down onto the thigh. Again, keep them off the knee. Okay, bring the hands down. Tuck the back toe, lift the back knee again, step the front foot to the back. Almost done. Take a deep breath, lower yourself down. Lift the chest up. And then push up and back into that downward facing dog. Cool. This time, for the sake of staying on your mat, we're going to walk the hands back towards the feet. And then start to walk the feet about mat width distance apart. Toes turn out. Start to sink the hips down. So this is notoriously difficult for guys. If you're one of those guys, firstly walk the feet a bit wider apart so you can get the heels down. If you still can't, grab a cushion or two cushions and stick them underneath the heels to take the pressure off so that you can still kind of relax. Bring the hands towards each other. Use the backs of the elbows to push the knees out and then try and lift up a little bit out of the posture. So we're not just dumping down here, we're trying to stay a little bit active, really stretch things out. You can invite some movement if it feels alright, if the knees want to move. Cool. Okay. Bring one hand down in front of you, one hand down behind you, sit yourself down. Bring the legs out in front of you. We're just going to do one forward fold, and then I promise you are done, you can get on with your day, and then the second one will be longer. So pull the toes towards you. Again, notice some guys especially have an outward rotation, so the feet tend to want to kind of fall out. Try to notice if the little toes are rolling this way, pull them back so we're tracking straight. Pull the toes towards you, micro bend the knees, lift the quads. Hands are going to come behind. If, John, you find that when you're sat here you're like this, naturally, which I think you might be, grab a cushion, sit yourself on it so that you tip forward as if you're going to kind of fall off the front of the cushion. It will just help the pelvis roll. And then bring the hands behind you. Find length, so think about lifting up. Use the fingers to lift you up and over your hip. Keep the chin tucked, toes pulled back. But every inhale, try to make this a little bit more active. So every inhale, we're lifting up. Every exhale, we're using the fingers to lift up and over the hip as if you were trying to roll here. Good, and then come all the way up. Whew. Shake them out. Cool. We'll leave it there for today. We will change these quite regularly as you start to progress, so I'm not going to make it too long. Let me know how you feel after that one, and I will get busy recording the second one.